Hey friends, it's Awkwardly Random with Cinthia and Michelle, where we talk about random topics.
Anything and everything awkward is on the table, so let's dive right in.
Hey y'all!
Hi.
We're back!
We're back with another episode
of Awkwardly Random
with Cinthia and Michelle. Woo!
That's right. And today, y'all, is another very special episode because, as you can see, this person on my right, well, for those who are just listening to the podcast, you can't see, but this is my cousin, Rebeca.
Hey.
She's back.
She is back. She was our very first guest on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That was the episode about personality, right? And love.
Yes.
That was a good episode, y'all.
It was a really good episode. Listen to it if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah, go check it out. It's good. Rebecca makes some really good points, and it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have you back.
Thanks, ladies.
Yes, and now you're on.
Yes, thank you for being here.
I just feel so special.
You are. You should. You are special.
You are, yes.
You're
thank you for
special
being.
Yeah, thank you for being here, for joining us. How are you? How have you been?
What was the last
I know I live with you, but how have you been?
Right? When was
For
that?
the listeners, how have you been?
Like January?
What, the last time you were with us? Michelle, do you remember? I
don't know.
I thought it was like October. No, it wasn't October. It was like November, December.
Yeah.
It was like pretty early into recording.
Because you were one of our very first episodes.
Yeah.
It was before the holidays because we had left for the holidays, but
Early November, maybe.
Yeah.
To
be honest, a lot has happened. Work is still work and crazy, but crazy busy, good, because we're vaccinating patients, which is like really exciting to have. To be serving underserved communities here in Chicago that we can vaccinate for COVID-19.
Yes.
We have some awesome vaccine fairs happening at my job at Community Health Center here in Chicago. So that's exciting.
Ooh, nice.
My teams are super pivotal in making sure that happens. So
nice.
Proud of that. But man, healthcare is no joke right now. I think we're all feeling it. But so I work at home, and then Cindy sees me, but I also now go into the office a couple days a week, which has been nice. But because I'm going crazy, y'all, at my house 5 days a week.
Yeah, we're both back to well, I'm half and half. I'm doing like a hybrid, half in person, well, a little less than half in person, and then the rest of the week is at home. But you're kind of doing the same thing, so we're like slowly going back to
some normalcy.
Some type of normalcy.
But
nice.
We're trying to survive out here. Luckily, we're fully vaccinated, so that's been a benefit, privilege, but we keep each other company.
Yeah, we do.
Hang out on the weekends or whatnot, but yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay too. I was feeling off the past few days. I don't know why. We were thinking caffeine withdrawal. Like we had like the headaches.
Oh, you stopped drinking coffee?
Girl, just for like one day, and we both had a migraine.
I was like, did you really?
I didn't even know how to answer.
Oh, we had, you just coffee every single day last week.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, woke up like feeling shitty
but neither of us had coffee at all yesterday.
No, like
2 days.
It was probably that.
And I was like, we were like, do we have COVID? I was like, no, we got vaccinated. We weren't around anybody. Like, what? And then I drank coffee this morning. I was like, oh yeah, that's
Oh, okay. I thought you had like quit coffee, and I was like, oh,
not intentionally.
No,
not intentionally. With that day,
but man,
it hits you.
Like
no,
one
I
day
feel that.
Knocked us out. We're so dependent on coffee. And
that's bad. I googled it, and they were like, it was saying that maybe quitting cold turkey is not the best way because it'll give you more headaches, and the symptoms are a little bit more severe. And the best way to do it is just to kind of wean off of it. So like, maybe not every day, but maybe 2-3 days out of the week, and then kind of slowly start to reduce it. So I did have some coffee today, and it actually helped.
Me too.
My headache went away. So
wow.
For real. Anyway.
First world problems.
How are you, Mish?
Pretty good. Just working. I feel sick. I've been sick since Wednesday. So it's been a week. I've been trying to recover I feel a lot better. This weekend, it was terrible. Like terrible. Like I didn't know my body could produce that much mucus. Like that's disgusting to say, but I was like, where is this coming from? But luckily I'm good now. I mean, I'm still kind of recovering it, but it feels like I'm kind of over the more yucky phases of it. So hopefully, like, I just think it's a cold, because I mean, I did get a sore throat, and then I started coughing a lot, and then it was just like runny nose and like mucus and all that. I still have a little bit of a cough, so if you hear that, it's because I'm recovering from it. But yeah, we'll see. Next week I am scheduled for my second dose of the vaccine.
Nice.
So before recording, I was talking to them about like whether I can still take it if I was like sick recently or not. So I'm gonna have to call and make sure that I, am healthy enough to take it, and then if not, maybe reschedule. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and you should be able to.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you feel better and are fully recovered soon.
Thanks. Me too.
That does not sound like fun.
You sound better.
Oh, it's not.
You do. You do sound better than you did the other day when we talked. Even yesterday, you sound better.
I know it was bad. It was bad, but yeah, better.
Nice. Real quick before we get into our segment, the reason we both don't have the background is because we tried it. We tried having the background of like the awkwardly random on our filter or whatever, and one of us just kept disappearing. So Michelle will keep her background. We're not gonna have the background. You get to see this space, I guess.
Our lovely abode.
For real.
Lovely.
Okay.
It's okay.
To start, we thought it'd be fun to play a little game.
Yes. I just bought this game. I was so excited.
What's the game, Rebecca?
Okay, the game is called For the Girls.
Okay.
We are girls.
I had never heard of it until you bought it.
I bought it
Mia joined.
Before COVID.
She can't hear you, but yeah.
Hey, Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I'm distracted.
Okay, For the Girls, card game, party game. For women, fellow women.
This is not an ad or a sponsorship, by the way.
It is not, but it is a fun, interactive game. Thought I would break the ice today. And we're just going to see who the card applies to, and the most cards wins, essentially.
Okay.
And so there's different categories and then different questions, like who is most likely to, or there may be a dare, or keep this card if.
Right.
And so we're going to vote across the three of us, but we know each other pretty well that we could potentially guess. Now there may be ties or
disagreements.
But
okay.
So
funny.
I picked this up at Target.
Yeah. But we're not gonna play like that. We're not gonna follow the exact rules of the game. For the sake of this episode, we're just gonna go through some of the prompts, some of the cards, and like try to answer them about each other or about ourselves.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, Michelle, how are you feeling about this? Are you ready?
I'm kind of nervous because I've heard some of the questions, and like we gotta expose some tea, or like it's just gonna be juicy. It's gonna be entertaining. I just know it's gonna be everything. So I'm a little nervous to see like what we're gonna reveal about ourselves. So
we're gonna.
I'm ready though. It sounds fun.
You can plead the fifth if you want to plead the fifth. You can plead the fifth. We'll allow it.
Yes.
You can sip your tea, whatever you want, pass.
Because this is going on the interweb.
Sip my water. Sip my water.
Sip your water.
Sip your water. This is going on the interweb, so it's all good if you don't want to answer something.
My coughing is acting up just thinking about this. Just kidding.
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous now. Okay. I don't want to pick the first card. How about you pick the first card? Our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest.
Be our guest.
Keep this card if you've ever left an article of clothing at a one-night stand's house.
I've never
had a one-night stand.
Yep, neither. Negative.
We're off to a great start, y'all.
This is juicy. I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's give Michelle a turn. Do you pick green, purple, or yellow?
Let's do purple.
Purple.
Hopefully it's not a bad one.
Keep this card if you've ever been hacked on social media. Yes, I have plenty of times. Michelle, you've hacked me a few times.
Oh yeah, I have, but I don't think someone has hacked me.
Oh no. Okay.
Or maybe you have. I think you have.
I feel like I have hacked you.
I feel like you have. Yeah, I feel like you have.
Cynthia has.
You were like my sister. Jackie has. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Jackie. Your
have.
statuses on Facebook.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I have been.
You ever been hacked?
No.
That's good.
Not gonna win.
Okay. Oh,
wait, your turn.
I'm messing up the cards. Okay, let's pick a different color. Let's do this one. Give this card to whoever's most likely to say "I love you" on a first date. Why are you turning away, Rebecca? Huh? Are you guilty?
I just know it's not beans. That's for sure.
Yeah,
no, it's
literally.
It's not Cynthia.
I actually saw this card before we started this, and I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely not me." I know I'm not gonna win this card.
I thought
that would be you
really fast. So.
Ooh, but at least you know what you want. You know.
Yeah,
that's true.
Wait, what about you, Michelle?
I wouldn't on the first date.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
But like nowadays, people are like talking like you don't meet each other until.
True.
That's a good point.
Like
that is a good point. So yeah, that's a good point.
You know, phone conversations, dating, like you like talk to people over the phone, and so I see that.
Yeah.
Be more applied. But yes, I am most likely to say I love you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I feel like if you
good analysis,
you would be the type to fall faster.
Fast, yeah.
And it makes sense like if you've actually been talking to someone and then you like go on a date and then
right. Yeah, that's a really good point, Rebecca.
Little plug. Go listen to the love language story, the podcast.
Yes.
That I was on.
Oh yeah.
You can learn about Rebecca's love languages.
Okay.
For real.
My turn. Okay, orange. Okay, first to mess up loses a card, and the category is Mexican foods.
Y'all, we better get this.
We better get this.
I know.
So we go around and we list things that go in the category?
Yeah, so like Mexican foods.
Okay.
Once you start, like sopes, and then we go around.
Okay.
So whoever freaks out or stops, you get this. You lose a card.
Okay.
I take away one from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this
oh
Michelle's?
my goodness.
No, Michelle.
Okay.
Okay.
Michelle, you have 0 points, by the way.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You have to win this.
Okay, I'll try.
You can
gotta make my family proud.
Okay. For real.
Okay, I'll start. Wait, me, you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Tamales.
Sopes.
Chilaquiles.
Menudo.
Arroz.
Flautas.
Pozole.
Tacos.
Lengua.
I guess.
Tacos de lengua. Okay, fine. Enchiladas.
Chilaquiles.
Tinga.
Chiles rellenos.
Tortas ahogadas.
Caldo de res.
Carnes en su jugo.
Caldo de pollo.
Longanizas con huevos.
Frijoles borrachos.
Oh yeah, shoot. Okay. Huaraches.
Empanadas.
Sweaty.
No. Are they empanadas? Yeah, empanadas, right?
Is that Mexican?
Sure.
It could be. Yeah.
It could be.
It could be.
Gorditas. Did we say gorditas?
I don't know.
We didn't say gorditas. No.
Okay.
Tortas.
Tripas.
I feel like you're just naming different types of meat.
Tacos de tripa.
Thank you.
I am.
Wow.
Chicharrón. Chicharrones.
Yeah, chicharrón.
Yes.
Yeah.
En salsa.
Mole.
Torta con milanesa.
No, you're out. Out.
Nobody said torta though.
I said torta.
Oh, torta de milanesa.
Although I didn't say torta de milanesa, so maybe on a technicality, should we give it?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm out. It's fine. I'm out. We should just keep it at that. Y'all can keep going though, right?
Yeah, but I'm running out.
But yeah, I'm running out.
Okay, so we're good. We'll end this one.
So you're -1 point, Michelle.
Damn, milanesa torta con milanesa.
You said longaniza, and then you said tripas, and then you said lengua.
I said longaniza con huevos. All right.
Oh yeah. That's what you said.
That's funny.
Well, we did pretty good. We went pretty long.
That was pretty good.
I'm sorry, Mom and Grandma. Like you eat a lot of meat.
The pink one.
Hopefully we made our families proud.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully.
Ooh, okay. Do this dare to keep this card. Share your most embarrassing poop story. Embarrassing poop story.
Embarrassing poop story.
Chipotle.
Oh my god. No, I actually do have one. Oh shit.
Oh my goodness. What is it?
I don't know if I want to share this.
High level.
Okay.
High level.
I went to this person's prom
Mm-hmm.
and we had some food. And I was at his house. And I pretty much exploded in his bathroom. I don't know. I forgot what we ate.
What type of cuisine?
I don't remember what we ate. But I remember going back. I remember having like a stomach ache on the way to his place after the prom.
You exploded his, what do you mean exploded his bathroom?
Like, girl,
like
exploded in the bathroom. Like
full on used his toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know if he knew. I Febreze the shit out of it. So
save it with the
who knows? I don't know if he knows or not.
Yeah, I think it's more embarrassing to clog a toilet, which I have done.
Do that.
I have done that. That's embarrassing.
Clog someone else's toilet.
That happens, yo. But
that's embarrassing.
Everybody uses the bathroom.
Yep.
It's normal.
So, do you have one?
Girl, this is about you.
Oh, this is mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
you
was
can
like
keep
whoever. I thought
you
it was
can keep
whoever's
it.
Story was the most embarrassing. They win this card.
Yours was actually a story.
Do this dare to keep this card.
card.
Okay,
You
fine.
get 2 points.
Okay.
Take one for the team.
Oh, sure.
Okay, Michelle.
The light green one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Give this card to whoever cries in every movie.
Oh, okay. Rebecca. I know Cynthia doesn't. We watched one of the saddest movies and I looked over it and it was just me crying. I'm like, are you serious? Like, this didn't hit you? And she was like, I feel it. You can't see it.
That is so
Yeah,
true.
that's true. You've never cried at any movie that we've watched here.
I've never cried with someone for like watching a movie, but I've cried by myself watching a movie. Yeah. But she has cried almost in every movie that we've seen.
Schitt's Creek, I be crying.
Yeah.
Avengers, I be crying.
Oh yeah, I cried for that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I let myself feel it. I'm like, I feel it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I just that's how I express myself. Like,
yeah, I think that's beautiful.
But you don't do it. I think it's beautiful, but I don't do it.
Yeah, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
My turn.
No, but I really do feel it. Is it your turn?
Yeah.
Oh, then let me hold it.
Okay.
Should we do two more turns?
Yeah. I think so.
So we can get to the real
nitty gritty. Okay. Give this card to whoever's most likely to have a 10-minute long Snapchat story.
That's Rebecca. This girl, she records, like, let's say she's watching a performance or she's watching something on TV and she wants to share it with the world, right? She'll record the whole damn thing and then she'll post the whole thing. And it's almost 10 minutes.
Almost.
I'm like, people can Google this shit. People can find this on YouTube. Here
but
you
it's
are.
Not the single fact.
She's like, it's good. It's good. Here it is.
Yeah.
I'm just direct access.
For real.
Last time I did that.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny at the Grammys.
Yeah.
She recorded basically the whole performance. 3 whole minutes long.
I love you, Bad Bunny.
Yeah. I don't think you would do that, Michelle.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if it was about my dog, I would, but not at like, I don't know.
A 10-minute performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want everyone to feel what I'm feeling with the Snapchat story, and I'm admiring this performance. Sure. And
yeah, you're all about shared experiences. I'm learning that about you.
Mm-hmm. I want my people to feel good.
Yeah.
Enjoying my feeling good.
Nice.
And I'm like, why are you recording this?
So you can enjoy it later.
Okay.
Okay. To Turno.
We haven't done
lime green, orange, purple.
Yeah, let's do orange. Oh, this is the categories one.
Yeah.
First to mess up loses a card. Friends characters.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh shoot.
You're gonna be great.
Okay.
This is too much pressure. Okay. Who wants to start? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Ross.
Chandler.
Rachel.
Phoebe.
Monica.
Joey.
Gunther.
Chip.
Oh yeah.
Richard.
Shoot, that's what I was gonna say.
That's all I got.
Damn.
Who's the guy that plays? Who's the guy that? Oh no, I know
Brad
more.
Pitt's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Brad Pitt's character. There's no way I
no.
like. There's no way
It's
I
okay.
didn't know any of these.
I was out after Richard, so.
I don't think I have
No,
any other
Come
ones.
on, there has to be more. Oh, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Phoebe's husband. Or she has more than one actually.
Mark.
The guy
It
that
was a
Paul
Mark.
Rudd. The guy that Paul Rudd plays.
It wasn't Mark.
I don't know.
I feel she dated a Mark.
Was he the one that was gay?
I don't know.
Oh no!
See, we're bad
No,
at
that
this.
pretended to be gay, but then he comes out as straight to her. Do you remember that?
Oh, sorry, me.
Where Phoebe marries him or something, but he's gay, but she knows that he is, and then he goes, "I have something to tell you. I'm actually straight." You know, and she goes, oh, "What? I accept you for who you are." You know, like it was funny.
I
know
don't
if
remember his name.
There probably was a Mark. Wow, I'm embarrassed. The one that loves Friends.
It's okay. It's okay.
Loses the card. Okay, you get negative points.
No, I get one.
Yeah, I know. I took a card away.
Oh, yeah.
You lose a card.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle.
All right, last one.
I was like Michelle.
Michelle.
Sorry.
En español, Michelle.
En español.
True.
Okay, choose colores.
The hot pink one.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Do this dare to keep this card. Make an audition tape for The Bachelorette.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
I'm already taken. I don't need to find anybody. Okay.
Hypothetically.
If you want to keep
I have
this
to
card,
act it
girl,
out. I have to act it out.
Give us your audition tape.
What would you say in your audition if you were to ever?
Hi, my name is Michelle Gonzalez. I guess I'm looking for somebody, so put me on your show and get your views up because you need a woman of color on your ABC network.
Snap.
We're here.
There, that's it.
Okay, girl, you get this card.
But also, I love how you were like, "Hi, my name is Michelle, and I guess I'm looking for somebody." That was my favorite part.
I'm looking for somebody.
That's a great audition.
I guess.
Shout out to the mom presentation.
For real, yeah.
For real.
That was great.
I wonder how I know in June, what's her name? Her first, what's the
There's
girl's
two
name that they picked?
bachelorettes.
Yeah, she's going to go first. So I wonder how that's going to go.
I think I won because I had 3 cards.
Yeah, Rebecca wins. Yay!
This is a fun game.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Obviously, one day once COVID is over,
Yeah.
we'll be able to chill with the girls.
And it comes with a spinner, so you don't even get to pick the color.
Yep.
You spin the spinner, and then it tells you which one to pick.
Dang, we could have done that.
Yeah, I guess we
My
could have.
bad.
It's right here.
Wow,
We haven't even put it
leaving out the
together.
details.
It's okay. It
Yeah.
looks fun. I'm down to play in person in the future whenever it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I certainly did. If you ever play it with your friends, let us know how it went. Let us know if you like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a cool game. I had never, like I said, never heard of it until you bought it.
This week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was actually my first time playing it. So
Mhm.
Nice. It was fun.
good stuff.
Now we're gonna move into talking about the topic for today's episode. It's roommates.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun,
dun.
dun.
Ooh.
It should be good.
We're gonna be honest here, Rumi, okay?
Yeah, we're about to get real honest, real truthful. The truth's about to come out. Yeah.
Talk about our experiences with roommates.
Yeah.
Since we were younger, since we're now. So what was it like for y'all when you were younger? Like, did you have to share rooms growing up, or what was that like for y'all?
You want to go?
Yeah, so I have a younger brother, 2 years younger. And from the house, our like childhood home when we were born, we shared a room, but I don't remember that, just seeing pictures. But when we moved to our family home, right, that my parents have right now, we had our separate rooms, so it was really nice. Obviously I had the bigger room because I'm the oldest. My brother had a smaller room, but I think my mom tells me, like, when we moved to that house, like I was 8, my brother was 6, maybe 5 or 6. We ran in circles and circles and circles because like we had our own bedrooms now. So ever since like childhood, we had our own bedrooms, and then fortunate have not had to share a room since childhood until I went to college and had a roommate. So
whoa.
How was that change for you?
Yeah, I think that would be
crazy, right? Yeah. So I had a random roommate because I was like, try to get out there, whatever. Da, 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 da.
What?
Random roommate.
How was that?
It was.
Do you still stay in touch with that person?
Like we said, the truth's about to come out.
No, yeah, I do not. So this person from Wisconsin, because I went to, all 3 of us went to University of Wisconsin, Madison, but I selected a random roommate because I didn't really have, well, I guess I did have friends, but none that I wanted to like live with, if that makes sense. Like no one was close. I wanted a new experience.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, try something else, just a random roommate.
Yeah.
So freshman year, I actually lived in Lakeshore, if people are familiar with University of Wisconsin, Madison.
You did?
All the way in Lakeshore. So that was stressful.
Yeah.
Really?
Everybody else lived in like witty, shitty, the party dorm.
Now it's not shitty witty anymore.
Yeah,
what I see.
Super nice now. But I lived in Lakeshore, and so the young girl was from Wausau, Wisconsin. If you guys have heard of Wausau.
The young girl.
Young girl. I'm not going to say her name.
It's just funny how you chose to spell. All right, we can move forward. Sorry.
But yeah, no, she was really nice, but we didn't have things in common. So, I identified as Latina. I was with, the PLC on campus and people program. Like, all of my friends were on the other side of campus. So it was hard, but, I got to know her as much as I could. And then that freshman year, I was joining a sorority too. So I was like never at the dorms. But when we did share space and bathroom, like in a shared dorm, you have bunk beds or whatever, right? And then you share bathroom with other people in college in the dorms and that experience.
Yeah.
But so it was definitely an adjustment. It was a learning experience because you get to know how other people live and like how do you accommodate not necessarily to someone, but how do you bring up the topics that, shared space, like quiet time,
boundaries,
studying, boundaries, like who do you bring over, who do you not. I was a super square freshman year, so I didn't like bring anybody over, I respected that. So
did you feel the same respect back at you with that young girl?
That young girl? Yeah, definitely. But I don't think I don't think we vocalized it though. Like I wasn't the type of person to like bring up conflict. I don't like to bring up conflict. I try to steer away from that. My Gemini trait. But yeah, so I think I was like timid in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Did you have almost, I don't even know if it's the right term, like a culture shock? Like you said you didn't have to share at all when you were in like a childhood. Like you didn't have to share, you had your own room.
Yeah.
And then you went from that to sharing a small, like dorms are really small, y'all.
Yeah.
Dorms are, especially my dorm was tiny, and you have to share that. Yeah, you had you lived in a bigger dorm. Mine was really tiny.
Yeah, it was still small, but it wasn't like tiny like other ones that I saw.
Mine was tiny. It was basically a walk-in closet.
Dang.
But you went from not sharing a room, having your space, to not only sharing with somebody, but sharing with somebody you didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, that, how did you adjust, or how was that in the beginning?
I don't think I remember how I adjusted, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I blocked that out. Like it's so long ago. But I knew that she was a person that came from a different background than I did. And so like I felt more connection going to other people's dorms, if that makes sense, or spending time, like being social. Whereas I didn't see that from her, and so it was different. So it was hard to connect. But I'm grateful for the experience because it puts you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And it teaches you how to live in different environments, if that makes sense. It kind of prepares you for living in apartments or living in with your significant other, right? That might be different.
So would you change anything going back?
I think I would have been more assertive in trying to build a connection or relationship with her. I think I regret that. In my experiences, but then that was my freshman year. But my sophomore year, I roomed with my best friend now. One of my best friends now. In AUG, so it was like a bigger dorm, right? The more sophomore, junior dorm, and so. By that time, we had built a relationship together, so I was able to pick someone that I could room with.
Right.
And so that was a great experience too. So, it just like shows across the way, like in college, everything changes.
Right.
I think it would be different if like I had lived at home because, we grew up in Madison. So, if we would have stayed at home, we wouldn't have had those experiences. But now looking back, like, you would have saved a lot of money, but I don't regret,
living
in the dorms for 2 years.
So by your junior year, you had your apartment, or you go back home?
By my junior year, I had my apartment at the end of campus on Old University.
Okay.
With one of my high school friends that transferred to Wisconsin. So that was someone I knew that I could live with. We had a connection, but we had our own separate rooms and space. I miss her. Now I'm just like, I'm gonna talk to her in a minute. But like,
shout out to your friend.
Shout out.
But those connections were different, and so my junior year, I didn't get into the nursing school, so I was like going through a lot. I had to change my majors. And my roommate, like, she had a boyfriend at that time. So then you have to deal with like, there's an other over.
That's another thing that we're going to get into too.
So then, that's the third dynamic.
Right.
And then by my fourth and fifth year, I decided to move back home with my parents. So my roommates were my parents and my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So trajectory of 5 years in college, different experiences, but it all teaches you, how to live with other people, how to set boundaries that we're going to talk about,
right?
How to adjust or not adjust too, right? Don't sacrifice or don't what's the word? I don't know, give up your space, or if that makes sense, like your principles for living, right? And accommodating. But that's my story, y'all.
You have
at least until I got to Chicago. So
that's a whole other story, right?
For real. So you've had a lot of roommates.
I think I've had like 7 or 8
total.
Now,
okay.
Total.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've had like 8.
Yeah, because for each of the times that you've moved, you at least have one person. Yeah. 1 year I lived by myself, but that was like really expensive here in the city, and I could not afford that anymore. So you have to make those executive finance decisions, right?
For sure.
That is one benefit of living with other people is you save money.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear about Michelle. Yeah.
Okay.
Me? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Mia counts as a roommate.
For real. Okay, so for me, I shared a room with my sisters. So I have 2 sisters.
You shared with both of them?
Yeah, we always shared a room until I moved out to go into college. And then which was a dorm room. And I mean, we went to UW-Madison, so I stayed in Smith, and I stayed with someone who I didn't really know at the time, but I knew from high school because we were both in the people program, and we both found out that we were going to Madison, and we just didn't know who else to room with. And I didn't really know her until like going into like living together. And she was a really great roommate. I don't know if I'm going to say her name. She knows who she is. She was my roommate for 2 years. So we stayed in Smith for 2 years. So my freshman and my sophomore year. And she was really great. And her family was really great too. And it was just really nice having her. I think we both, she was more on the social end, and I was more like introverted, doing my thing, but still wanting to get to know people. But I was not really into like the whole going out phase my first and second year. Mm-hmm. So it was still nice having her as a roommate because we both respected each other's boundaries, and we both like got our shit done. And then but then at the same time, like we could like share like our cultures, because she isn't Mexican, but she is Dominican. And so I learned a lot about the Dominican culture through her. And she had already known about like the Mexican culture based off of like a lot of the people that went to our school, but it was just nice to, share that space with her. And she was a great roommate. And then after that, I had moved into an apartment. It was an apartment, right? Regent is an apartment, right? Uh-huh. And I moved in with another friend, and then she had to leave for a semester of that year, and so she sublet it to this guy. So I shared the apartment with a guy. And then after that, and that was interesting. That was my first time living with someone who identified as the opposite sex as me. And then also like, there were like, I don't know how to put this, but I had never lived with anyone like that, not even like my father, because I didn't grow up with my dad. So that was just completely different for me. And the good thing is that he was clean. The only thing that I really disliked about him was that he would eat my food. And I would tell him like, yeah, that was the first time that I've ever had somebody eat my food. And it wasn't just like, it was just one time that he ate my food, and it was wings. And if you know me, I love my chicken wings. Yeah. So it was so disrespectful for him to eat my wings and then not even say anything. And I legit like called him out. And then like he didn't even say anything. The next day he just like had wings on the counter. I was like, hey, so sorry for like eating your food. But whatever, right? So that was just one thing, and I got over it. And then after that, and then after that, we lived in the red house. So I lived with Cinthia, and my sister, and then 2 other roommates. I don't know if we're gonna name them, but that was really great because I actually lived in a place where like you all were legitimately all my friends, and I felt like y'all were family, and like it was just like an amazing experience for me. And it was just like overall fun, and those are the days that I look back on when I think about being in college. And then after that, I think that was it. And then we graduated
college. Yeah,
we graduated college.
That was our senior year.
Yeah, that was our senior year. And then after that, I stayed in Madison. Well, I went to Milwaukee for like a month because I was like, well, I was all over the place. Okay, this is another story for another day. Either way, I ended up back in Madison, and then I had other roommates there. So it was like my sister and 2 other friends. We stayed on State Street. That apartment was clutch because it was like near everything, basically. Yeah. So that was fun. I stayed there for like a year and a half. And then after that, I stayed with Cynthia, and we stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment, kind of a little bit far from downtown. Not far, but a little far if you didn't have a car. But we had cars, so it wasn't a problem. But it was still very fun, and it was like one of the nicest apartments I've had.
Same.
And it had a balcony, and I loved that apartment. I was just upset that I didn't actually use it to its full potential.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
We had
it was a good
accent
time.
wall in the dining room. We had like a red accent wall. It was so nice, and it was brand new.
Yeah.
The floor was new. We had the balcony. We had amazing parking. We were right next to a bar that we went to quite a bit. We were almost regulars.
Yeah, and it had a pool, didn't it?
It had a pool, but we never used it.
We never used it.
Yeah, slacking.
I think we used it once.
I never used it. I never used it.
Yeah,
yeah, that was fun though.
Yeah, we slacked on that one, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
what about you, Cynthia?
Oh my goodness. I shared a room. I've never had my own room until I moved to my senior year, until the Red House. That's, what is it, like,
damn,
20 something years? Yeah. I always shared a room with my sister. We're very close in age. We're only 2 years apart, 2.5. My mom would dress us the same, give us the same haircuts, and made us share a space.
Facts.
Dang.
So yeah, people sometimes confused us as twins when we were really young. We did look a lot alike, especially when my mom dressed us the same and gave us the same like coconut bowl haircuts. That was cute. So we shared a room basically all throughout our childhood, and when we moved into the duplex, we actually shared the basement room, and then we ended up sharing a queen bed. Yeah.
Oh,
so
did.
we were very
like
close.
It had a back room, right? It was like
very
yeah.
It had a back room, right?
That's the laundry room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Do you remember, Michelle? When we lived in the duplex?
Yeah, I remember. You stayed down there together?
Yeah. Well, when Eric was born, they were quite traditional in that he was a boy, and so he got to have his own room because we were two girls. So they were like, the 2 girls are gonna share, and then he's gonna get his own room. So he had his own room when he was a toddler. Like after he stopped staying in his crib and stuff, like there was a 3-bedroom duplex, the 2 bedrooms upstairs. So my parents stayed upstairs, and then Eric stayed upstairs, my brother, and then my sister and I stayed in the basement. It was a big space. We had our own bathroom. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it was the bathroom that I remember.
Yeah, but then I mean, we had our own beds, and we had we each had our twin beds. But then at one point, I'm not sure when the switch happened or why, but we ended up sharing a queen bed for like a year or 2. I can't remember. So that was fun. Yeah, I mean, we were sisters. We argued a lot. But looking back, like it's nice to have, like, I have like some really fond memories of sharing that space with my sister. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then I still shared a space when I moved to the dorms in college. Random roommate, a girl from Milwaukee, I believe. She was nice. I was never around. I was always in Whitty.
Yeah.
I was always out. Like I was the opposite of you, Michelle. Like I did go out a lot my freshman.
I don't think I ever went to anyone else's dorm room when I was in college.
Yeah, I slept over a lot at a friend's house. I mean, at a friend's dorm. And I was always out doing stuff, always at the library. So I was never really in the dorms.
And you even told me before we were actually friends, you told me that you had been to my dorm room.
Oh yeah,
right?
I had been to your dorm, but I didn't know I was there for your roommate.
Yeah. I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I went there with our friend, and then we went together to your room. Yeah, you weren't there, but it was your dorm room, and they were like hanging out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I knew that you lived there. I knew that you were her roommate.
Yeah, creep. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Calling me out.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah. So I was in your dorm, but I think it was just that one time. It was like a pregame.
I think so many people went to my dorm. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Without me being there is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
It was y'all had a nice space. our Chadbourne was really tiny, like really small spaces.
Yeah.
So yeah, freshman year I went out a lot.
It's okay, girl.
I was able to keep up with my schoolwork, but
Mm-hmm.
I know I could have done better had I just chilled a little bit, but I just wanted to like go out and hang out with friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good old days. Sophomore year, I roomed with 2 roommates, but I shared a room. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, and 2 of us shared, and the other person had their own room. Financially, it was good for me because I paid less since I was sharing the room.
Yeah.
But boundaries.
Yeah. And my room roommate had a boyfriend. Nothing happened while I was in the room. At least I don't think so. Hopefully not. When I was sleeping, hopefully not. I'm a light sleeper, so I feel like I would know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
would you have said anything though if you were in the room and something would have happened? Like, were you the type of person that would have said, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yeah, I feel like I should be able to like. The answer should be yes. I should say something.
Yeah.
I feel like like you, Rebecca, where I don't like confrontation. And I've gotten better about it now, but back then I was so shy and I was so nervous to make other people feel uncomfortable that I would rather put myself in an uncomfortable position before putting anyone else in an uncomfortable position. So I feel like maybe what I would have done is just like walked away, but or like leave them, do their thing. I would have left the room. Before saying anything. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what I would have done.
Did you feel like you were put in more of those positions than, let's say, like, obviously the return, right? Financially, you're better off.
Was it worth it, you mean?
Yeah, was it worth it?
I mean, I wasn't, it was only one time that I was like, okay.
You felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was it though. It was fine.
Yeah.
We had different schedules, and so we weren't always home at the same time. And so I did have some privacy, which was nice. And she had her privacy and all that. But yeah, I mean, it would have, there were some moments where I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do here.
But kind of like in the apartment, you were essentially living in another dorm, basically.
Yeah.
It was the same situation.
Yeah. And I was so used to sharing a space.
Yeah. But did y'all have any, like, I wouldn't say rules, but like kind of like guidelines of that kind of thing, or in general?
No, and I wish
like that was just
have.
unspoken.
Yeah, we didn't have those conversations.
I mean, I think it's important to talk about it now, looking back, like retrospectively, 10, 11 years from college, that freshman year, right?
Oh, so long ago.
Like you have to have those conversations now, think about it as an adult, because if you don't, you're going to set yourself up for failure or grudges or miscommunication. And so it's important that we have conversations with people.
And we've had those conversations, which has been really helpful. Not that I'm bringing anybody home really, but it's like nice to have that conversation. Whereas like with that experience, I did feel some sort of resentment or I felt some type of way, after leaving that apartment. And I'm like, things could have gone a little bit better had we talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So boundaries, y'all, boundaries.
I wonder how many people, like if people are listening and they went to college, how many people actually talk to their roommate about like actual like guidelines or like boundaries or like rules, because I know I didn't, but with some roommates it worked out, it with some other roommates, like with the chicken situation, it didn't.
Your wings, girl.
For real, I was upset. But yeah, I wonder how many people actually talk about it, especially because at that age, like we're young,
right.
And I feel like at least I said something about the chicken thing because it wasn't that big of a deal. But once as I got older, I was able to communicate certain things with other roommates if something bothered me. But looking back, freshman and sophomore year, if something would have bothered me, I don't know if I would have how I would have gone about it, So
same.
Yeah.
No one. I don't think I was taught that with my parents too. Like we're not taught that. You have to learn it, and or at least from my experience, I don't know about you, but from our culture, our families, like we're not taught that. you're expected to do chores or like do things, especially us, or for me, being the oldest child and a female, a woman, like in the Mexican culture, you do the dishes, you do the laundry, you do all of these chores, but when you live with someone else, like how do you have that conversation and set those boundaries? And if you have that confrontation or feel that need that you need to confront somebody that you're living with, like how do you go about that too for for the other listeners, like giving advice, like how do you set up that conversation?
Right. And it also depends like how close you are with the person, right? Like I feel like with you, Michelle, and with you, it would be totally fine. We could have that conversation and I wouldn't be as nervous. But if it was someone else that I don't know very well, I don't know. I feel like that would make me a little bit more nervous, or I'd be treading a little bit more carefully with how I say and what I say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I don't know how the other person would respond or like what their thoughts are. But I haven't, like, I know you both very well, that I kind of have an idea, and I feel comfortable having that conversation with you. I feel like that also plays a role.
Yeah, I think that does play a role. And I think, at least for an experience that I had when I had to tell one of my roommates that, if they could be more considerate and like clean up after themselves after a get together, I thought I went about it like the most respectful, kind way, but it wasn't received in that manner.
Right.
And they kind of got salty about it. And then, I mean, in general, I wouldn't say that we were great friends. They were just like rooming with me. But at the same time, like you can try to approach it in a good way, but sometimes also the way people receive it, sometimes they might just feel some type of way, and it's not your fault to express how like you want to be respected in a space. So that's also something to consider, that sometimes you can be as nice as you can, and sometimes other people are not going to take it that way too.
That's out of your control, right? Like, the only thing you have control over is how you say it and what you say, and like you said, you can go as gentle and nice about it as you can, but it's it's up to that person how they respond, but hopefully my advice would be not to let that deter you from saying something in the first place. Because that definitely happened to me, where I'm like, oh, I'd rather just like suck it up and deal with it, because I was afraid of the response, and I didn't want to make that person feel uncomfortable.
Would we advise people that are rooming together, experiencing a new roommate, to like establish like written guidelines? Like, have you done that before?
Roommate agreements.
Have you done that before? Because but we have this mutual understanding, like, I hate cleaning the bathroom, but Cinthia will clean it gladly.
Yep.
But I will do the kitchen. Like there's a trade-off, or I will do the floors. Like we have our mutually agreed upon thing. We haven't put it in writing, but like, what's up? Like we have that mutual respect. But I have never had to like write it down in agreement.
Yeah, no, me either.
Like contractual type ish.
Yeah. I haven't either, but what makes me laugh right now is so Jesus and I, we have an apartment together, right? And we've lived together for my 3 years in law school, and now going on to the 4th year. And moving here, in general, it's when you live with a partner, it's different because, you learn so much about each other, but at the same time, like you both are growing as people. So things may change, right? So at first I was the one that used to be more of the cleaner, like I would clean more, but then as I got super busy with school and everything, Jesus became more of the cleaner person. And then I hated washing the dishes. And so I would sometimes think that I washed the dishes, but he would actually do it. So what we came up with is, we don't do this anymore, but we would put in we have like a board here, a whiteboard. And so we would put like the chores, and when someone did it, one color was for me and one was for him. And then we would trade off, because sometimes I would be so busy that I wouldn't even remember like who did it and whose turn it is. And that way, like something is written, so I know that like, oh, he did it, so now it's my turn, type of thing. You know what I mean? So that helped me when I was extremely busy, and had to also like pick up my weight as his roommate in our apartment. because it came to a point where he was like doing all the cleaning, and he was like, hey, it's like not really fair.
Right.
So that was a way for him to hold me accountable into like our space.
Yeah. And that's cool, because also, like you said, you know, you change and you're changing together and you're growing together. So you might need that kind of more of that boundary setting, and you might need it in writing at one point, but then you might not need it at another point. Like, it's always changing, and you just do what you need to do in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if we ever need Sheldon to come and, you know, help us write an agreement, Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, shout out if y'all have.
Shout out to Big Bang.
For real. That's a reference that we're making in case y'all have not seen it. But yeah, like that's always an option too, if that works for you.
Maybe not as outrageous as him, but it's way too much.
Yeah.
You can't whistle
much. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Can't whistle when he's there.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. What about if like your roommate, okay, so you said that we have that mutual like
understanding,
and we have that like you don't like the bathroom, so I'll do it. I actually enjoy doing the dishes, so I'll do it, right? And you clean the kitchen and you do the floors. I freaking hate doing the floors. So like that's kind of worked out, you know? But what happens when it's not so smooth like that? Like if that person is just not, how do I say this nicely?
Pitching in.
At all. You know? Like,
charge them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do then? Like for us, it was really easy. It was very natural. You told me straight up, I hate doing the dishes, right? And I was like, no worries, I got you.
I will load the dishes.
Yeah.
Gladly, but I will not.
Yeah.
I hate like washing them.
And what if I had said, well, I hate the dishes too?
We're gonna use this dishwasher.
Y'all have a dishwasher.
We do.
We don't.
No, okay, well, at that point,
I'm sorry. I'm just making it harder
it's okay.
to be.
No, but to be, I would. At that point, I would wash the dishes, but I would say, you know, what's good? What are you pitching in here? Because it cannot be me.
I think in general, those conversations should be had before you decide to room with someone.
Yeah.
Like just saying like, this is my expectation on like how I like to live and like what I am looking for in a roommate. Like, is this the same for you? And then if you go into that with that same intention or that same mind frame, then I would feel more comfortable bringing it up to the person. Like if they're not like, maybe something is happening in their life. Like for me, when I was in law school, during finals, when I was in finals mode, like nothing else existed for me. Like I was just in the zone. I would eat out and like I would not clean anything. Like it was really bad. I was like super laser focused and nothing else mattered. So Jesus knew like during finals, like I was not gonna be able to clean basically, or like cook food for us. So I think, but then at the same time, like I can't also just be like zoning in and not be like holding up my end of like being in this partnership and being in this apartment. So at the same time, I needed to learn how to like manage my time and, you know, clean up after myself if I did use like certain dishes or whatever. Right. So I think he did a good job in like bringing me back to like, hey, like we had agreed, like, this is what we're going to do. So like, come on. And I think it's easier to do that if you've had that conversation before deciding to move in together versus like you never even talked about it. Now you're roommates and then like you have to bring it up and it's really awkward.
Yeah.
I've heard of people actually interviewing roommates.
That's a
like
thing too.
One of my mentors interviewed one of their roommates or multiple and see if it's a good fit. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Why not? But
yeah.
I think in college we're like so desperate to like room with somebody because of the financial obligation that we might, you know, whoever's available or whoever's, you know, willing to pay.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. But like as an adult, if you're renting out, let's say you own a condo, right? And you're renting out a room.
Right.
You kind of have to go through an interview process essentially. Like, are we going to mesh? Do you bring people over? Like, are you clean? What's your credit score like? You know what I'm saying? So there's
yeah, that's deep.
Give me some references of past roommates,
please.
References.
Yeah, but also like with those situations, Michelle, like for example, your finals thing, like that would be something to bring up to your roommate too. Like, hey, just, next month I have finals. It's going to be really hard for me to keep up my
It's going to be a fucking tornado.
but, and not give them, like, not say I'm not going to do anything, but just like, okay, this is going to take up a lot of time, a lot of my energy, my time. I might not
plan ahead.
Right. And plan that out together ahead of time. If it's coming, right? There's other things that happen, right? That come up unexpectedly. But if something's going to happen, that's going to take some of that energy and it's going to deter you from keeping up your end of the bargain, communicate that.
You did that with your grad school, like when COVID was happening. I think you cleaned like the weekend before because you knew like that weekend you had to study.
Yeah.
And that was our agreement. But yeah, that's how you.
No, it was our agreement.
Yeah. Well, she was honest and said, I'm occupied X, Y, and Z. Okay, I know not to bring anybody over. I know not to bother her while she's studying. Like that's important to her. She's my
that was when I had my comps, my exam,
her big exam.
Oh,
was, like,
damn, that's
studying. Like and for me, like I'm just the type of person I am. Like I'm super respectful. Let me get you. What do you want to eat? Like what will you?
Yeah, she hooked it up.
Whatever. Like whatever is gonna make it happen. But we have that mutual respect for family. And like we talked about in our previous episode, like we never like hung out before as family. Like only at family parties. But like now, like. My emergency contact is Cinthia right here. Like, to be honest, because
nice.
I have no family. People ask me like, "Who do you live with?" Da, da, da. I'm like, "That's my prima." Like, primas hermanas roomies till the day we die.
Hashtag primas hermanas roomies.
Hashtag. But you have to have those conversations. You have to be transparent and say, okay, this is what works. This is what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then you have to come down to those roommate agreements. It's not a good fit anymore, so I think I need to look for a new place, but thankfully that.
But just being upfront, straight up, communicate as uncomfortable as it can be.
Communication is hard, man. So
for real.
We may be saying this like as it's easy for us, but we've like matured and grown, and you may not be ready yet to like discuss this with your roommate, but we're giving you this advice to like let you know.
And just another advice to listeners, please don't be passive aggressive. Like try not to be, because I feel like that just creates like I feel like I've never been like that with anybody and nobody else has been like that with me. But I feel like when you add that type of like energy, like it can get misconstrued. There can be like miscommunicate, like it just can be a lot versus like just being straight up with someone, as much as you don't want to hurt other people's feelings, it's just better to like talk about it instead of like leaving little notes here and there and all these other things that I've heard from other people. It's just better to talk to them and squash it and then move forward, because it does take a lot to like leave a lease, and it does take a lot to move. So if you can make it work out, cool. But if you can't, like, you can also just move out too. But it'll be harder.
Well, and at least you know that you tried to make it work, and then if it really doesn't work, then you move out. And if that's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do. You've seen those shows? I've seen it on TV where like somebody doesn't do the dishes and then the person notices and then they intentionally leave the dishes too. And then it ends up piling up for like 2 weeks. And like nobody does shit because they're both being really petty.
I know. Oh my gosh, that's so petty. So petty.
I've seen it on TV, but I know it happens in real life.
Yeah, I know it happens too.
That just reminded me when you were saying that, Michelle.
Stop being petty.
But here's a question: what's like the bare minimum expectations that you have for a roommate?
Good hygiene.
Okay, what does that mean?
You shower.
Okay. Shower. Okay.
You wash your clothes.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Hygiene.
Okay.
I guess, you have to clean up after yourself.
Yeah. That would be one of my bare minimums. Like, just clean up after yourself, please.
Yeah.
That's,
even if it's a shared space, like sometimes we'll be watching Netflix or and we're like super tired. Okay, we're like passed out on the couch, and then we get up and like, okay, go to bed. But there's like blankets and stuff, and we have like snacks or whatever left over. Obviously, we don't have energy to clean it up. But the next morning, we're cleaning it up. Like that's our mess that we made. Or that, a shared space, but like especially like the living room or the kitchen, that's a shared space. Even the bathroom. So what are the 3 shared spaces? Living room, bathroom, kitchen. Making sure you clean up after yourself in that sense. Mutually like washing the dishes could be discussed, right? But
TBD.
TBD. Who doing the dishes?
Jesus, TBD.
Insert chores list. But
for real. No,
clean up after yourself. Like those are the 3 shared spaces, like that you and I both have to live with, or you and your roommate, whoever's listening, right? That you should have that understanding that it's clean up after yourself.
Yeah. Well, we've always been so good about if we leave something out at night, in the morning we'll clean it up. Because I know there's some people, and that's like a pet peeve of mine. If you leave something out at night and then you don't pick it up until like a day or 2 later, I'm like, no.
That's disgusting.
Usually it might be like glasses or like alcohol.
That we leave overnight.
No.
But nothing like actual food we'll put that away.
Right. And I think you've told me, and I've told you too, like if we don't have energy, I'm like, I'll let you know, like, okay, I'm too tired for this. I will clean this up in the morning, you know? We communicate that to each other. So what about you?
Nice.
So like a bare minimum expectation that you have.
I would say that's the same thing. Like clean up after yourself. And just making don't make me feel unsafe and uncomfortable. Like that's super important in general with just any roommate. I think for me that would be the bare minimum, and like pay your rent and pay your bills and all that.
Facts.
That's probably it.
That's a big one too. With that, what about bringing people,
and don't eat my chicken,
and don't or your fries. You like chicken and you like fries.
My chicken and my fries.
Yes,
then we're good.
Really good.
I know that. Oh, I love sweet potato fries. So good.
Yum.
What about bringing people over? Like, so I know, Michelle, your situation is different than ours, where you live with your boyfriend. You live with Jesus. Like, what about bringing friends over? Like, do you let each other know? You know, like how does that work for you two?
Yeah, we let each other know. I mean, in New York, we don't really have friends, so that's kind of sad.
Well, like when you live together, like in law school.
We would let each other know. And also, I'm the type of, so I was raised by like, if you're inviting someone over, our place has to be clean.
Oh yeah.
Or else like,
hey, girl.
Or else like, don't even bother. Like, I was like, are you gonna clean? If you're not gonna clean, then no.
My mom had us clean our rooms. No, I mean, I knew nobody was gonna go into my room, but she was like, haz tu cama, make sure everything's clean, put all your clothes away. We have people coming over. But like, these are people, like adults that were not going into my room. You know what I mean? Like, but, like the whole house had to be spotless because we were gonna have guests.
So that's something that I feel like I adopted, where like, if I'm gonna invite someone over, like our place has to be clean.
Yeah.
Or you have food and snacks too.
Oh I'm bad about that, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we would just let each other know, and the place has to be clean, and that's it.
Yeah, that's how we are too. I just like let you know, hey, just my family's coming to visit, or
same.
I have 2 friends coming over, or whatever.
Or I always check. I let them. So if someone wants to come over, I'm like, let me check with Cindy, because she has something else going on. But like,
well, and with COVID, I feel like that's added another layer.
Yeah,
where like now I feel like I have to ask for kind of permission just to see how comfortable you're feeling, which I'm okay with.
I feel like I bring more people over, but it's the same people that are my friends that become your friends.
I know them now, but
but it's not like weirdos, I think.
Yeah, no creeps.
No creeps.
Well, you can't trust people out here, so
especially with COVID, no thanks.
Yeah.
So I think during quarantine, absolutely not. Things lifted, and then we started going out, like outside more, or had people over for like game night. But we were safe, masks and everything. Then now, though, since like we're vaccinated, I think, well, at least maybe me have more liberty to go out, but I'm trying to like come back because these rates are going up. But usually, I'll text you so-and-so, so-and-so wants to come over or come join us for like dinner. Or because I know that you're out of town, I also know that that's an opportunity that I can have someone over when it's not invading your space too.
Yeah.
But I will, let you know, or because I think these walls are super thin, so I ain't gonna have nobody over.
I told her, I was like, if you're gonna bring someone over and you want your just let me know. I can go for a walk. I can go for a long walk. It's nice out.
Wow.
These walls are super thin.
You can hear everything.
You can hear everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
damn.
I can hear our neighbors with our windows closed, everything's closed, and I can still hear everything really clearly.
They're vacuuming, walking.
I can hear everything.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I can hear conversations. Not like the
really?
full details, but I can hear that people are talking. Yeah. But these walls are very thin. So yeah.
But
that's uncomfortable.
Mutual understanding.
Yeah, we always tell each other. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But I feel like that's a bare minimum for me too. Is I'm not saying you need my permission to bring someone over, but at least let me know, right? So that I know and I'm aware.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. And also the pay your rent thing. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
But with COVID, it's different.
Yeah.
With COVID, it's different. There's different forms of relief if you can't pay for your bills or can't pay for your housing. There's stuff available for that, but yeah,
that's true. And so now that all three of us, our families are in Wisconsin. We lived in Wisconsin.
Shout out to
with
Wisconsin,
our families.
The 608 for me.
414, come at us. Come at us.
We have a Milwaukee person here. We got respect. 608 414. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, what I wanted to ask is
area codes.
Area codes. 608 414. Okay, so we all have lived with our families back home in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We are now in different states.
Yes.
Some of us are a little bit farther.
Yeah.
A lot farther.
Yeah.
Sad face.
That's really cool that you live in New York, though. That's pretty badass.
Thanks.
Anyway, so we're all in different states. We're no longer living at home.
Yep.
What's it like when you go back to visit? Do you feel
it's
like
amazing.
you're back home? Do you feel like you're a visitor? What is that like?
Michelle, you go first since you said it was amazing.
Yeah, let us know.
Sorry.
How amazing is it?
Going back home, it feels great. I feel like, so I wasn't born in Milwaukee, but I was raised in Milwaukee. So I just feel so connected, not just to my family home, our house where I grew up, but also the area in my neighborhood and the South Side of Milwaukee that I rep it so hard. That you would think that I was born there, but I'm not. But I just feel right at home when I'm there. I don't know. It's just this sense of home that it's also my family también. Right. Just being around them, that's where I'm at my true happiest. And I can be my true self. And I feel every time I go home, I feel I heal. If I'm if any little part of me is feeling some type of way, I feel so whole when I'm with them. So it just feels amazing to be home, even though it doesn't feel like my space because everything has been is shared basically at our house. I don't have an actual room where I stay. So my uncle, he has a room at our two rooms basically because they're connected, but he has renovated it, so he doesn't really stay there. He just comes to visit the house sometimes. But those two rooms are kind of guest rooms where I stay, or I'll stay in my mom's room, or I'll stay in my old room where my sister has, because it's a huge it's the biggest room in the house that my sister has, and we all used to share that room. So or I'll stay there with her. Pretty much I can stay anywhere. That's how it feels because I feel so comfortable there. So I love being back home. I feel I don't have my own space there, but I feel I'm so well taken care of when I'm there. And then I also want to help out. I'll cook or clean. I'll do anything. And it just feels so nice. I love being back. But yeah, I feel that would be it. Shout out 414.
That's beautiful.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's
what about
beautiful.
y'all?
Me?
Get it, girl.
So I think Illinois, Chicago is like my home now. Like this is where I live, my ID, where I pay bills. You know, I'm a resident, file my taxes, whatever. But like when I go home,
IRS, you hear that?
I know. You hear that, IRS? When I go home to see my home, as in my childhood home, right? Because I identify Illinois as my home now, but like you were saying, it's healing to like see them and hug them and share the space, eat Sunday meal, you know, or cook dinner like my dad throws down in the kitchen or on the grill outside. Like I miss like the green grass. Like in the city, it's really hard. We don't have green grass. Like I miss that. I miss being able to walk outside with like an open air space, not like
yes,
tons of cars, right?
Freaking crowded here.
Yeah.
So that usually I'll go home like Friday night, right? Stay Saturday all day, night. We do stuff. Sunday I leave. But like by Sunday morning, I'm ready to come back to my house, like my space here. So I love and appreciate the time being spent with my family, but that's like my childhood home. Like I stay in the guest room, like I'm in the shared spaces. Probably I feel the closest, right? The kitchen, living room, dining room. That's where we have our conversations. That's where we eat our food, we drink, whatever. But so I do feel like a guest in my parents' house, but I'm fortunate to be able to go somewhere, right? If that makes sense. Like, especially during COVID, appreciating like the opportunity to go back home and like hug your loved ones.
Right.
We didn't have that for 6 months, almost at least immediately. So like Wisconsin is my birthplace, my birth home, like 25 years of experience right before I moved to Chicago. But like I know that, you know, I have roots here, my work is here, my friends are here. I would probably maybe, you know, in 15 years buy a home back in Wisconsin, but like I know that I want to purchase something here in Chicago, like potentially meet my significant other. You know, like this is like my future for 5 to 10 years, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But like going home and that'd be fine. Like I miss my grandparents. I haven't seen them in a year and a half, and like I miss the smell of my grandparents' house. Like I'm like trying to relive that scent right now. Like even if it was musty or you know what I'm saying, like old people's house. I literally miss my grandparents home in Wisconsin and their smell, and just like I want to be able to hug them, but I can't right now. But like so that's real. For the weekend, I feel like a visitor, my childhood home, and this is my home. So
yeah,
what it is. I'm appreciative. I'll cook, I'll clean, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're buying, so
yeah.
What about you?
Oh, cute. Yeah, born and raised in Wisconsin as well. Went to college there. This is really the only place I've ever lived outside of Wisconsin for a prolonged period of time. Besides my internship, but that was only 2 months. But this is the longest I've lived away from my home. I love going back home. My mom has an apartment, so it's a smaller space. So in that sense, I do feel like a visitor because I feel bad taking space. Like sometimes I have to move my brother's clothes in his closet to like put some stuff in there for me, you know, if I stay there for like a week or two. I've done that before since I was working from home. I remember I went home for like 2 weeks. And I worked from home over there. I know, I'm sorry. So you know, he had to accommodate some of that space for me, and that's where I kind of felt like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like a visitor here. This is not my space. I felt kind of bad. He didn't care, and he loved that I was there. But like me, I felt like I was invading some of his space. You know.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I do feel like a visitor, but I love being back home, and it's like they're always asking, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And it's super sweet, and I love going back home. And it's like growing up there, like it's like nothing's changed, you know. I go back there and it's still the same. We eat together, we cook together, we watch movies, play board games. Eric is all about board games and family night, and like, you know, every time I go back, it's like nothing's changed. Like we're back to being that family again,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I would say the only thing is like the space. I think if they had a bigger space, maybe I wouldn't feel like I'm invading so much, but because the space is smaller and my brother has let me sleep on his bed and he'll sleep on in the living room or whatever, that's where it gets a little bit tricky for me. He doesn't care, or at least he tells me, he's like, I don't really care, I'm just glad you're here. But I feel bad,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's amazing. I love being back home. But I would say Chicago, I don't know, I could see myself being here. I don't know if it's my future. I don't know where my future is, honestly.
Oh my gosh, same. That's what I was telling Rebecca, like, that's amazing that you have that. How did you figure it out? Because maybe that could be another episode, because at least for me, like how Beans was saying, like, I don't know what my future is. Like, I'm living in New York now. Like, I don't know if I'm going to stay here, how long I'm going to stay here. Like, am I going to go back to Wisconsin? Am I going to go back to Minnesota? Do I want to go somewhere else? Like, I just like, I don't like, it's amazing that you found that. So maybe we could do a different episode on like figuring that out.
I think I'm
but
still
in general,
it out, but
but in general, I don't know if it's because like I lived in so many places and I was able to find like a home there or a space there, but it's just so hard. And I wonder how people make that decision. Like, this is where I want to set my roots and this is where I see myself. Especially as someone who is so connected with their family, like me, like, I don't know if I could ever see myself like setting roots somewhere else that isn't where my family is, and because being raised in that way. And that's like something that I've been trying to navigate, like still as an adult. And I'm like pushing 30 almost. Oh, not almost, but I guess almost in like 2 years. So it's like, damn, like what is going to happen? So like, we need to have this conversation maybe another time, but
well, I have this weird push and pull where like, I want to be able to, like, if I were to ever have kids, right, be close enough to my families, like, because I wouldn't want to keep my kids away from my mom. You know what I mean? Keep them away from their grandparents. However, also being single, young still, like, and ever since I did my internship abroad, I felt like I could do anything and I could go anywhere. And I wanted to like see more of the world. And I'm like, oh, I want to go live somewhere else and I want to experience this place and this place. So there's different places where I could see myself living in, but I don't have like this one thing that's like, okay, this is where I want to settle down, And it could be that, like, I don't have kids right now. I don't have a partner right now. So like, I'm not even thinking about where I'm going to settle down. Does that make sense? So I'm like in this weird limbo. But we could talk about that. That would be good. Another episode.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. For real.
I think I think that's why I picked Chicago, because it was only 2.5 hours away. So that you could drive, it's like so close. I was looking at grad school at Columbia, which is New York, right? So New York is like super overwhelming to me. So I could not, Michelle, I could never. But like Chicago is like Midwest feel. It's like 2.5 hours from my family that, we get in a weekend trip and be there and back, and likewise, or meet halfway. And so that's really good. I don't know if I would live in California, but like if my parents decide to retire, for example, to Las Vegas, I'm down with Las Vegas. Like my best friend lives there. Like, I would, like you're saying, if in the future, if we have kids or, God willing, we'd want them to be close to where their parents are, or where their grandparents are, my parents. But you kind of have to think about that and make those decisions, but you also have to make the best move for yourself.
It's too much adulting, man. We're already adults, and I'm like, it's too much.
Too much,
and we're already here.
We've made it pretty far, though. I think we've had so many different experiences, and we've grown. And I've learned a lot, and we still have a lot more to experience.
For real.
It's fucking hard, man. It's so hard and stressful and overwhelming.
Stay young, kids. Stay young.
I don't think anybody listening to us is a kid, except maybe for your brother.
Who actually gave us our first rating.
Eric, stay young. Enjoy your youth.
Enjoy your youth. Yeah. Okay, so I guess maybe just to end it, what have you learned? What's like the biggest thing you've learned from living with roommates or sharing a space with somebody else that's not your immediate family?
Oh,
Communication.
Yeah. I think I learned a lot from my siblings. At least I learned how to like clean after myself and be like considerate in that way. But when it comes to like strangers or like people that weren't my family, it's I guess just like being considerate of others, setting my own boundaries, being responsible with my own like bills that I had to do. And yeah, overall just adulting. I feel like when you move out of like your family's house, like how we did when we went to the dorms like 18, like we were kind of like we were on our own, like nobody cooked for us, nobody made our beds, nobody washed our clothes, or you know what I mean. So that was my first time of like my true independence of like, okay, Michelle, like you're not in Milwaukee, like you have to like feed yourself,
right?
Like you could like basically that, just like being an adult. That's what I learned.
You know, it was really nice when you and I lived together, Michelle, in Madison. It was like 10 minutes from my mom's place. So anytime I didn't cook, I would just go and have dinner at my mom's place. Wow. And I would also like bring us food from my mom's place.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I remember. It was nice. I was like, thank your mom. Thank your mom.
Yeah.
That's always good going home.
Yeah.
But yeah, communication is important.
Yeah, that and boundaries, I would say, is huge.
Like mutual respect, or just discussions if you disagree,
and holding yourself accountable and like keeping up your end of the bargain, and you know.
Yeah. As uncomfortable as it may be. Yeah.
Right. So. Listeners, hopefully you took something out of this. Hopefully if you're having a roommate experience right now, it's going well and you're able to communicate with each other. Hopefully it's not uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
But also if you are, hopefully this helped.
Yeah.
And you took something out of this. And yeah.
We don't want no awkwardly random conversation.
Oh my gosh. And on that
random, yes. Awkward, not so much.
That's so funny. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. It was fun. It was a nice combo. We need to have another conversation about just like life or something, because like
adulting,
we're all going through it. We're all like trying to figure it out, and it's nice to talk to you all and the listeners listening. Like I'm sure you have your own thoughts. So
yeah, we did do an episode of Adulting is Hard, but I feel like one episode is not enough. And so we have a part 2.
Talking about life insurance, retirement, investments,
all of that.
I'm learning all of that. So
becoming a homeowner, I'm
learning that as well.
So yeah, for now we're gonna sign off, but thank you for joining us.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you all the listeners if you stayed this far. This was kind of a long conversation, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and hopefully y'all did too. And let us know what you think. We always say this, but rate us, subscribe, comment.
Yes, for sure. Do it.
Do it. Okay.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll catch you at the next one. Bye.
See ya. Bye.